Hello and welcome to the Starfall Collective, Season 2, King of the Cloudy Sea, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure. I am Matthew Talamini, your Dungeon Master. I am a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island, and you can find my stuff at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, Talamini.com. With me are some of my college buddies, Sir Robert Burbridge playing Weatherin, an elven paladin of Oberon. Say hi so people know who you are and tell them where they can find your stuff.
I am Sir Robert Burbridge, and I don't understand what a what for a person is well enough to say what that is, but you can find stuff at thefarce.net.
David Farrell playing Karaok or Gravy, a lizard folk ranger. Say hi so people know who you are and tell them where they can buy your magic cards.
Hi, I'm David. I have a store on TCG Player under Archon MTG.
Nice. Dwight Knall playing Fennetir, an elven cleric of Pawn. Say hi so people know who you are and tell them where they can find your stuff.
Hi. What was the other thing?
Just tell them anything. Just anything.
There's a drum right there.
I love your drum. Joshua Suich playing Malmer, an elven warlock of Chernobog. Say hi so people know who you are. Tell them where they can find your stuff.
Hi, I'm Josh. You can find my stuff all over the internet at jsuich, Jsuich. But if you go to Reddit, you can check out the Starfall Collective subreddit and communicate with me there.
Awesome.
Can you really own things?
Well, you can't own things.
Christopher Columbus was convinced that if he had a flag, the answer was yes.
Well, you know, flag only means something if people know that it means something. When we left Karaok and Fennetir, they were aboard the only ship that the Elven Empire's navy has on the Cloudy Sea. Because you don't want to have your realm border on a body of a nautically navigated body. It's not a body of water. And not have any access to it at all. But up to this point, nothing much has been going on here. But they did seem to feel the need to deploy it in this case. Grauk and Fennetir are on this boat, making their way towards Air Mountain, which has sent out a distress call on behalf of the Aarakocra. A coalition of other non-elven, non-human races have come together aboard this ship to make their way to their fellow non-human, non-elven people's aid against the Dark Elves and the forces of Karen. Tabaxi, halflings, lizard folk, and Aarakocra joining together against a common foe. It's very heartwarming. Karaok.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what you see at the beginning of this episode. It's dark, wet, sticky, all around you. The cawing of the birds, very familiar. You're trudging through your native swamps, stalking stealthily. This is the landscape you grew up in, where you learned your ranger craft. You are following something, seeking something. You hear a rustling up ahead. It's the thing. It's what you're looking for. It's just in that next clearing. Make me a stealth roll to sneak up and look.
Okay. I think. Sorry, I've forgotten what I can do. It's been a very long time since I was myself.
Take a d20 and roll it and add your stealth modifier.
Yeah, but you have a spell that helps you.
Well, I was checking to see if the swamp, that's only for, yeah, that's not for dex modifiers. Right? Good. We're good. Everything's fine. Oh, yikes. Man, that's not very good. That's a 7.
As you are trying to climb
Stomping
partway
towards-
up a gnarled, moss-covered tree to peek your snout out from between the branches and take a look at what's going on in this small clearing, you miss a step and the branch breaks and you fall and tumble down and roll a little ways, and looking up, you see standing above you 2 figures. It is Ate, the warden of the Northern Marches, in her ranger costume. Indeed, the same costume in which you last saw her. She looks down at you, startled, with her hand stretched out towards a dark elf who you see to your just near her, who's wearing a spider pendant, a clear Kyrenic symbol. The dark elf is holding out a bulging leather pouch, which clinks as Ate takes it. She looks at you guiltily, stuffs the pouch into her pack, and then leaps off into the woods. And that's when you wake up. Tell me, Karok, how do you feel waking from a dream like this?
It's probably a little confused. It doesn't imagine this is not very much it's not the kind of dream he's probably used to having. Yeah, he yeah, he's probably. Oh, is there like? I wonder if could I don't know, make maybe an insight check or an investigation check or something of that sort to try to make some sense of this?
You're aboard a ship, like the Fujin, where you spent some time, but different. You're looking around you. What I want to know is how you feel.
Yeah, confused.
Is it would you say, what I'm getting at is we know that lizard folk are different from elves or humans or other races, and they have some sort of emotional and psychological differences. And what I'm wondering is, I have a sense of how a human would react to a dream of obvious and deliberate betrayal like this, but does a lizard folk react that way? Does it feel bad?
I think actually I have one question. Does he sense because obviously he's felt it or been in his presence or whatever, but does he sense any sort of presence or influence or anything of Palor? Nope. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. He's probably kind of Kind of uncertain about it. I don't know that Lizards of the Warrior cast would put a ton of stock into dreams, but at the same time, he's after the
Basically,
last.
What I want to know is, tell me this: does this have no effect on you psychologically, or does it have some effect?
It probably has
Okay.
some, probably not huge amounts, but
So it does have this effect also. You gain no benefit from your rest this night, which, since you were well rested the night before, doesn't mean anything. But also take 6 off of your max hit points.
Okay.
You wake up exhausted. This has drained you.
How do I do it?
Undo your full rest.
Write it down somewhere.
Okay.
It does. I don't need you to put it in D&D Beyond. Just have it somewhere.
Okay.
It is real in the world. But you still have hours to go before morning. You did toss and turn for a while during this stream while it had you in its sort of evil grip.
So what?
Your character is in the world.
Oh, I'm supposed to do things. Okay.
You don't have to. If you want to tell me Karauk goes about his day as usual and does nothing out of the ordinary, then that's totally fine.
He'll
There are tabaxi snoozing about you.
Yeah.
The halflings have a little encampment in one corner.
He's gonna go find
Finitier's there.
Yeah, he's gonna go find Finitier. I think he would do that.
Finitier's just sitting in a trance. He's probably already up, right? Has it been 4 hours?
Yeah, Finitier's been up for a while.
Yeah, so he approaches Finitier and he whispers, "Hello.
Hey man, how's it going?
Good morning. I wish to speak with you alone."
Okay. Let's go somewhere. You wanna fly somewhere?
No, we do not need to go that alone.
Okay.
I'll find a secluded place where we can sit and talk.
Yeah. No problem. You can go up to the very prow of the vessel.
I'll take him down to the bilge.
Oh, you take him down to the bilge.
Yeah.
Finitier, your lizard man friend is trying to haul you into the gross.
I'm not
nasty,
not bodily.
Like moldy. He's guiding you into like the moldy undercarriage of the ship where people don't go except to do maintenance. It's very dirty down there. And there's not really space for a person. It's like a hidey hole. You could squeeze in there if you wanted.
Is this one of those levee ships, or are we in a water ship?
Yeah, you're currently in the hold, so you're weightless. This is a cloud ship.
Gotcha. I mean, I feel like cloud ships are a little cleaner than water ships.
Yeah,
that is definitely true.
Karak, when they get down there, he opens the. I
was trying to give Finitier a chance to say no. I don't want to go down there.
Now,
we're not actually in the bilge.
Like
he opens the hatch leading into the bilge, and he turns to Finitier and whispers, "They will never look for us down here."
Good idea.
All right, I'm gonna climb down into the bilge.
You are down in this cramped, tight, smelly space.
Finitier's floating as if he's sitting in a hammock.
All right. So uh, what would he say? So Karak seems a little to Finitier. He seems a little, I don't know, uncertain about something, or maybe a little confused, or maybe a little agitated. He doesn't look not like, like he's about to go crazy or anything. Like totally lose his head, but yeah. So he says, "Do you have a dream?"
Oh man, all the time. That's why me and Pon are like this.
Ah. So you would know if. So you can tell where dreams come from.
I don't know.
If they are maybe from a god, or if they are maybe not from a god, or if they are lies, or if they are something else.
I mean, my own dreams, maybe. I don't know about others.
Fenitier and Karak, at this point in the conversation, each of you make, I'm not sure, but I think it's a nature check.
Nature check. I'm no good at those. Oh, Pon, help me.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
Do I get my
No.
Do I get my environment bonus? We are on the cloudy sea.
No, not for this.
Oh, that's a shame. All right,
I get
21.
a 9 with Pon's help. Pon
Karak,
saved me from a 6.
you do need to tell me the result of your roll.
21.
Oh, nice. Karak, as soon as you mention it, it comes to you instantly. One of the first things that the other sort of soldiers and adventurers in this party said to you was that the company is hag-ridden.
Oh yeah, there's hags.
The company is hag-ridden.
Yeah, they think that there is an invisible evil spirit following them, causing bad dreams and hurting them, doing psychic damage.
Finitier does not remember that.
Yeah. Karak then sort of, I don't know, I guess he looks like he may have had a light bulb moment or something. And then he says, "Have you ever met a hag?"
I'm
Fenitier,
starting to have confusion as to if I have or not.
you have.
I have. It wasn't Trilo.
Once upon a time, earlier in this adventure, your character witnessed Captain Gorio. You spied on Captain Gorio from a distance.
Yeah. He was like a hag appeared and at Nebulaster's purse.
Right.
Yes, I've seen a hag before. They're weird.
Indeed. I have something I want to tell you.
Okay.
And you tell me what you think of it. And I have an idea about it.
Okay.
So now I will tell you. And then he proceeds to tell the dream to Finitier. And then he says, "I wonder, could it be the work of a hag? Or perhaps it is something else. What do you think?"
I mean, it kind of sounds like a hag dream. You said you.
Dream. Could it be anything else? Do you think?
I mean, Balrog or Karen or Kyle or who are those? All those other gods? I only know Pawn.
I do not know them, nor do I care much for them.
Yeah.
Though if it did come from Paylor, that would be.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I mean,
I do not think it was from Paylor because I have met him and I think I would know if he had come to meet me again. But what does your
Yeah,
god
maybe-
think? Does your god know of these things? Could you ask him about it? Perhaps
could
he
ask.
knows.
I mean, it'll take me a while. I can't just knock out and come back. Maybe tomorrow I could ask him. I do kind of feel like he's not too interested. That doesn't sound fun.
Well, getting killed by a hag is also not fun. And
But hag hunting would be fun.
Hag hunting would be fun. Having your kinsman betray you to a wicked god also would not be much fun. Having other gods lie to you would also not be much fun.
Yeah, gods kind of do what they want, though.
That would not be much fun. You might mention these things to your god if you were to inquire of him.
Yeah, I'll see what he has to say.
I did help you find your book.
Yeah,
He's calling it a
thanks.
favor.
Yeah, I mean, I'll ask him. I'm just saying, don't be dependent on Pawn. He's not the most dependable guy.
Well, that could be said for many gods. In the meantime, would you like to hunt a hag that may
sounds
or may not be there?
That sounds amazing. I've been waiting ever since I woke up from my 4-hour trance
All
for
right.
someone to ask me to hunt a hag.
Between the two of us, what do we know about hunting hags? Should I make a survival check or something of the sort?
I'm trying to look up Fennetir.
Uh-huh. Real quick, I'm going to give guidance to Gravy. So you can add a D4 to your next ability check.
Fennetir, here is something that you would know as a cleric. You're a cleric, right?
Cleric of Pawn. Full-blown cleric. None of those multi-class things for Fennetir.
Let me read to you from the player's handbook. The cleric table shows how many spell slots you have to cast your cleric spells of first level and higher. To cast one of these spells, you must expend a slot of the spell's level or higher. You regain all expended spell slots when you finish a long rest. You prepare the list of cleric spells that are available for you to cast, choosing from the cleric spell list. When you do so, choose a number of cleric spells equal to your wisdom modifier plus your cleric level. The spells must be a level for which you have spell slots.
Gotcha.
So when you prepare, you can change your list of prepared spells when you finish a long rest. Preparing a new list of cleric spells requires time spent in prayer and meditation, at least 1 minute per spell level for each spell on your list.
Gotcha.
Just wanting to little hint from the DM.
So you're saying that there are spells?
In what way are you? In what way are you going to proceed? you're gonna do you wanna try and hunt a hag.
Yes.
Mhm.
So as the ranger, you want to try and find it.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I guess should I? Well, no. Did I already make that? Like, yeah, we'll try to hunt the hag.
Hunt the hag.
go ahead and roll me up a survival check if you're going to be like physically searching.
Okay.
Can I just lean on my passive perception?
Do I get a
Yeah, you're
Do I
in the
get-
cloudy sea.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, you would get your environment benefit for searching for things here.
Okay. Boop. Oh, natural 20, which gives me a 30.
And did you
You
roll
literally
your
got a
D4?
30.
I got a natural 20, and my modifiers give me a 30. I rolled a 20 on the die.
Your DM is dead.
You immediately see the hag, and everyone else can see it because you did so well.
You have spent so much time in the cloudy sea, and you're such a talented ranger. Every environment in the world, there are always places where it gets a little thin.
Mhm.
And I mean the world gets a little thin, not the environment. I mean, there are places in the cloudy sea where maybe you can just glimpse a little through the clouds to something that is beyond it or behind it.
Mm-hmm.
The very greatest rangers, legendary heroes, there are stories passed down
Mm-hmm.
of worlds that are behind the worlds or worlds that are under the worlds. They talk about worlds that are on the other side of the mirror, worlds that when you look into a puddle and you see something that's upside down on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
the greatest rangers sometimes get a glimpse into and can even go and explore those places. And as you're searching the ship, there's a moment when your very deepest, most mystical ranger sense, just your attunement to the cloudy sea, gives you this feeling that you're in or somewhere close by is one of those thin places, one of those where there's maybe something else under or behind the world, and you go towards that. And what this looks like to everybody else is you're climbing on the side of the ship. You've gone over on the port side, and your claws are in the wood, and you're orienting yourself first up and then sideways. Some of the lizard folk like Ate can see that you're in full on hunting mode. Your frill is like back.
Yep.
And your nostrils are completely flared. The halflings won't know what's going on. The tabaxi will have some sort of dim sense, but the other rangers and other lizard folk on board are holding very still as you make the smallest motions with your head just to see through. And for just an instant, for just a second, on the other side of reality, you can see just a glimpse of the cloudy sea, of the ship that's a mirror of this ship in the ethereal plane. And on the ship, in that dim and murky space, there is a horrific creature.
What type of creature is a hag? What category?
Fiend.
Fiend. Okay.
This is grim, horns instead of ears, gnarled, coiled black hair, oily, falls down its back, dirty, purple robe, claws. It is, can't tell if it's scaled or just thick, gnarled, hideous skin. The terrifying visage turns its head and looks at you and looks you in the eye for just a second.
I do not move nor register any recognition. My gaze is blank.
Before your briefest of glimpses into the ethereal plane closes, and you're back looking at the material plane, the world as it actually is.
I cast protection from evil and good on myself. And would I have any idea? I mean, like, I, the player, don't know what the implications of all this are.
Well, any spell or effect that you may have that affects the ethereal plane is what I was talking about.
Okay.
The ethereal plane is a thing that exists in the Dungeons and Dragons game, which some spell effects and other items and things might possibly have to do with.
Which I don't think I have anything of that sort. So I am going to Karawak is going to he's going to feign not having noticed it.
Okay.
So like so like which so like he when he sees the thing, but he continues searching as if he hadn't.
Okay.
For a little bit.
The once in a lifetime vision has passed.
Yeah. Right. But if the thing can see him, he doesn't want it to know that he saw it.
Okay. So you continue along your way and then nonchalantly cast the spell.
Yeah. And then I don't know, like after a minute or two of crawling around the side of the boat, he'll get back up on deck and he says and he goes back over to Finnetir and
see anything?
Is everyone still watching him?
There are definitely some tabaxi who have been spectating, and some of your fellow lizard folk.
Right. Okay. Well, he okay. Well, so in that case, he doesn't immediately go over to Finnetir. He just kind of he goes into he'll climb up on the rail and sit on the rail for a little bit and just
Okay,
wait.
and that's
Wait for
have you
for
already
the
have you already cast the spell?
yeah.
Okay. One of the tabaxi comes over to you when you stop moving around, when you sit still. This is Fortanier, the tabaxi leader, who seems to be a wizard. And he says, yes, this spell is useful against them.
Against who?
The hag.
Do you see it?
No, I cannot see into the ethereal plane. I have not the magic to fight it.
There is a hag.
I believe so. Have you seen it?
I saw it, yes. It is I where is I don't know, I tell it is over the edge. But it is not over the edge. It is over the other edge. He looks he kind of cocks his head as if he isn't quite sure he said the right thing, but then he just shakes it off and looks back at the tabaxi.
Your people are strange, but if you have seen it, I do not doubt it.
Yes. I do not think it means us well.
For sure. It does not. It has ridden my dreams more than once on this journey.
We would do well to rid ourselves of it.
Would that I could, Ranger.
Is Finnetir nearby? Or like where's Finnetir?
Finnetir, the
Finnetir's been-
tabaxi, is speaking with Karaok. You see this.
Hi guys, what's going on?
There's a hag. I saw it. It is over
Can
there.
we kill it?
I do not know how, and he does not know how. Do you know how?
Well, I've been thinking, and I don't know how.
Does your god know how?
I can ask him too. I don't know if he'll answer two questions though.
Well, you might suggest to him that being killed by a hag is probably not much fun.
I mean, is this hag killing us, or is it just giving us bad dreams? Also, if I go into my dreams to talk to Pawn, is the hag going to interfere?
I look at the tabaxi as if deferring to him to answer.
The tabaxi launches into an explanation that's very theoretical in nature. Both of you make Arcana checks.
Arcana, man, you're really leaning on to intelligence. Finnetir's not the brightest bulb in the tool shed, but he did roll a 19.
Oh wow! I also rolled a 19.
Great. He
Pawn
explains.
helps, so he ends up with a 19 because he's -1.
He explains that his magical tradition has a theory that there are planes, much as pages of a book might lie on top of one another and are in the same place but not in the same place, if you know what I mean. The
Mhm.
planes are in the same place, but not in the same place.
Mm.
And that there are certain fiends, devils, fey creatures. There are elementals and fire beings, wind beings, genies, the gods, even.
Ah, you speak of the inside of the knife's edge.
This may be.
I have heard of this place, and now I have seen it.
It sounds as though our traditions coincide on this
He
matter.
draws and he draws one of his blades.
Because it is not on the outside of the knife's edge. You can see that. Like this.
Then he puts it away.
Truly, your wisdom tradition is most profound.
It is as if it was sheathed, but more so.
And that he suspects that the hag is a creature that can stalk its prey or victims through the ethereal plane. One of the planes that wizards sometimes get certain kinds of access to. He also he is of the opinion that the spell that he saw Karaok cast, Protection from Good and Evil, is a potent one. It has some potency against hags, but they have not been able. He himself and some of the others can cast maybe once in a day, and it just hasn't been enough to prevent the hag from slipping into many of their dreams. You've seen the bags under the eyes, the dark circles,
Yeah.
the exhaustion.
Croc says,
It is a useful spell, yes, but only for protection. It will not rid us of the hag.
I actually have that spell, and I know that it's only good for 10 minutes at a time.
Yes. I put it on because I saw the thing, but
The magic circle is also effective and lasts for longer.
we must
Magic circle.
find
might
a
not be
way
able
to
to.
rid ourselves of this creature.
Magic circle. Ooh. I have a magic circle. Lasts for 1 hour.
is there, I don't know, like, should we, this guy doesn't
The fact
seem
of
to
a
know.
bad guy does not guarantee
Hmm?
a solution.
What's that?
Just because there's a bad guy doesn't mean you can kill
I
it.
know. The
I guess Finitier will wander off to his bunk
Um,
and try to see if he can talk to Pawn.
Okay.
He's not worried about some silly hag.
the Tabaxi doesn't seem to have any ideas.
Nope.
Nope.
He admits as much.
All right. Well, I'll go speak to Ate.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, sure.
She's willing to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I have spoken with
What's his name?
Fortanier.
Fortanier. He he has encountered. There's a creature that is trailing us. I've seen it. It is a hag.
You have seen it.
Yes, on the inside of the knife's edge. That is where where it lies.
She cocks her head and gives you a very penetrating look. You have walked on the inside of the knife's edge?
No, but I have seen through it. I have seen into it. Just now, as I was hunting the creature.
Truly. You have grown greatly.
It is a plague on our ship and on our mission. And
I will not.
yes,
I won't.
and the Tabaxi felt the weight of its presence as well.
I will not claim that I have not also similarly felt it in my dreams. Most disturbing.
Yes, it seems that is its workshop, as it were. We would do well to be rid of it.
Do you have a plan?
No, I do not. I have never hunted such a creature before. Have you, or do you know? Have any of our kin?
I have no knowledge of how this might be hunted.
Well, we cannot leave it to continue to it is not good that it follows us. If it can cause such distress as this, what more will it do?
Much, I fear. It is a creature of Karen.
Yes. And we go to fight Karen, do we not? The fight has come to us now. The fight is here. Whether we like it or not. I have asked my friend, the cleric of Pan, if he would inquire of his god. Perhaps something will come of that.
This god you trust?
No. But I did the priest a favor, and he has proved useful. He is in my debt.
Unless anybody has any ideas, we're going to skip forward.
Well, Finitier's gone off to try to go to sleep to talk to Pawn.
That's what we're going to skip forward to. So you're going to do another elven meditation, sort of take a long rest in the middle of the day.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Yeah, you know, your priestly discipline involves oversleeping. And
Thank you, Pawn.
it's no problem. The
Pod actually only appears after the time that other people have woken up and begun work. If no one is working within 100 feet of you, there's like no chance.
exactly. Anna's like, hey, dude, what's going on?
Hey,
Hey,
so
what do you
Verona-
think about that book? Isn't that cool?
It's pretty good. I've been reading it. It's got some pretty compelling passages. Currently I'm on a hag-ridden ship. And
Oh,
it's
bummer. Hags, dude.
It is quite a bummer. And we're trying to dehagrify our ship. I have one idea. I'm not sure if it'll work. So I'm looking at my my magic circle spell, and it seems like I could cast it on the hag, like inside out, so that it couldn't leave the magic circle. What do you think of that? But I'd have to find it, all of that stuff.
Dude, like, have I ever told you about the time that this one like dark wizard caught me in a magic circle like that? It was brutal. I was like,
Nice.
I had to like give him a wish before he'd let me go. It was awful. I hated it. No, dude, those magic circles, like, they totally work. I don't
Nice.
know. Like, it's crazy. I am not sure why, like how they work, but
Hmm.
it's a thing.
How would I see the hag in order to target said magic circle?
Dude, I don't know.
Gotcha. And then my friend, the giant bird that flies me around wherever you want me to go, he
Oh
had a
yeah.
question for you, which I am forgetting what it was. It was something about gods. I can't remember though. Oh man, he's gonna be so upset with me. I owe him one. I owe him so much, and I just totally forgot what I was supposed to ask you. But I did say that you weren't reliable, so I'm just gonna blame it on you.
That's cool, man. I don't care.
I might have another question for you tomorrow. Okay, thanks, Pawn. You're the best.
Dude, we should hang out sometime.
Yeah, hey, you want to come down to the ship and hang out with us? Maybe you could help this magic circle thing. It'd probably be pretty fun to watch. You'd be on the other side.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's not quite how it works, bro.
Okay.
See
Well,
you later,
it was
dude.
good talking to you.
Fist bump.
Bump. So Finitier wakes up. He's like, guys, I've got it. We need to get this hag to show up in a way that I can see it. Then I'll cast magic circle on it, and we'll have it for at least an hour in one location. And it can attack out of that area, but we'll be protected a little bit from it, and we can shoot things at it and zap it. How's that sound to you guys?
Fortanier says, I have heard of these magic circles. You have mastered this technique?
I have never tried it before, but I know how to do it theoretically.
He has a bow.
It takes many years to master this technique. I have attempted many times. I've not been able to produce the correct incantations. I will yield to your expertise, priest.
Do you have a way for me to see the hag? Also, we might want to get it in the middle of the boat or something, so that we can have an easier way to attack it.
Let me see. No.
Nobody knows how to see the hag?
This character does not have a way to see the hag.
Let's get the whole ship. Let's get the whole ship in on this plan. We're all gonna want to take out our frustrations of poor sleep and haunted dreams.
Perhaps if we were to lure it out.
Interesting plan. You call
How
the
I do
Tabaxi calls the ship together. Ship meeting,
Mhm.
company meeting. The sailors are still sailing the vessel. The elven captain is not part of the company. And he asks if anybody can see into the ethereal plane, and most of them are like, "What's that? I've never heard of that before."
It's where you go when you dream.
And they say anything else?
Would detect magic see the hag? if she came within 30 feet of me.
That
Or
detects
is that a
s-
planar
spells.
thing?
I mean, I can
Yeah.
do.
Presence of magic within 30 feet, but it doesn't say anything about planes.
I have primeval awareness, but I mean that's just like that just tells me it's there. Doesn't tell me where it is.
One of the halflings says, correct me if I'm wrong, but somebody's having a nightmare, right? You can usually kind of tell. Toss and turn,
Oh yeah.
roll around.
Yeah.
Sometimes
How close does the hag have to be to
nightmare.
nightmare?
I think the hag. I mean, I don't know hags, but I think
Gonna be real close.
might try seeing who has nightmares. I mean, it had never happened to me, but my boss.
So we find the one who is having the nightmares, and then we use the circle on them.
I think we would still want to try to detect. Didn't you see the hag? Maybe you
Yeah.
could do that again.
But for a moment, I
You
have
see the
never
hag,
done
you
that. I have never done
point.
that before. That is the first time I have seen through the edge of the knife.
But maybe you could try it again. Because I don't want to cast the magic circle and then the hag's like, ha ha ha. I'm outside of it.
Well, if the hag would most likely be where the person having the nightmare is, no?
I mean, that's a theory. We could try it. See what happens. Let's do it.
I am willing to stand as bait.
Okay, go have a nightmare.
Right.
So what's the plan?
I will sit next to
I'll try to
Gravy
go to
as
sleep,
he dreams.
I guess.
Cool.
And he'll be wearing pajamas that are like especially attractive to hags.
Okay. So the day goes on as normal.
I mean, I guess, and the other people are encouraged to help.
Oh yeah, if anybody
So-
sees somebody having a nightmare, they should come grab Finnetir. He's
Yeah.
slept twice, so he doesn't need to sleep for a while.
Did you hear, boys? Somebody's having a nightmare. Go get the priest. They've got a plan.
Plan!
Bax says, has they got a plan against the hag? We will cooperate. No problem.
Nice. Let's do
And
this.
I don't know, maybe get Ate and like a couple of the top hunters on the ship to.
Ate asks if you want her to stay up and wait. And when the hag is trapped, to awaken the other warriors and spring upon it.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
This is a good plan. And pick some of your best hunters and have them keep watch. For I did not expect to see through the knife's edge, but perhaps it is known to happen. So let them be vigilant. And maybe they will see it too. And maybe you will see it too. Yes? This is good.
This is very good. So, night falls. The other lizard folk warriors put themselves into their hammocks, but loosely bound to the side of the ship in the anti-grav to sleep.
Finitier's just walking around.
Fennetir is slowly pacing the ship. There's never a time when
his
everybody on the ship
20
is asleep.
passive perception. Right.
Wait, 20 passive perception?
Yep.
Okay.
He sees everything.
He sure does. Karak, do you go to sleep?
I will try.
Anything special about your sleeping, or just the way you were last night?
Would he have any? Is there anything I can do to gain any sort of, I don't know, like an insight check, or to get some idea of maybe how to draw the hag in, or like maybe I know maybe like a nature to rack my brain for anything I might have heard about hags.
What you should do is tell me. Oh yeah, you rack your brain for anything you know about hags, and you already did that this morning.
Okay. So I don't know anything about how to like bait a hag.
You have no lore that you know of.
All right. Yeah, just try to go to sleep.
Okay. An hour ticks by. Fennetir stalks slowly back and forth in the hold. One of the tabaxi rolls over, and Fennetir's head snaps to the side and looks. But she's just scratching her neck. Yawns. Goes back to sleep, untroubled. Karaok, you're stalking through the swamps again. Misty, light rain is falling. The familiar stink of the ooze, the slime in your boots. You're hunting something. You're looking for something. It's somewhere in here. There's a clearing up ahead. You hear a rustling on the grass as though of footfalls. Make me the stealth roll to spy on what's going on inside.
All right. Ooh, that's not better. 24.
You find a vantage point from which you are completely hidden. You cannot be observed at all. Within this clearing, you see a bulky figure, a lizard folk, taller, broader than an ordinary lizard folk. Dark green skin, painted in white, curving lines. Or are they tattoos that somehow adhere to the scales? A pendant hangs from this lizard man's chest with a design that you recognize with apprehension, signifies Paylor. You see a Tay come into the clearing. She's immediately recognizable to you. She approaches the lizard man. They have a short conversation. They're a little too far away for you to hear what they're saying. She hands a letter to him, a sheaf of papers, which you recognize immediately. This is the report about your adventures that you wrote and you sent back to the lizard folk. She has it. It should have gone back to headquarters. Why does she have it? Hands the papers to this bulking, white encircled lizard folk. He peruses it and chuckles, and then nods and draws a document out of his pouch which he hands to her. She takes it, reads it, puts it in her pack. She kneels before him in the mud. He blesses her with a gesture. The last time you saw this gesture, it was Nebulaster the Cloud Giant making it. Fennetir,
Mhm.
Karaok's feet are kicking.
Are they?
His nostrils are flaring, his eyes.
Have they left yet, or like, are they? The figures are still there.
You see all this, and then the camera of the narration
Okay.
moves to
You just
Fennetir.
can't move. It's like that part in the dream where you can't advance it or rewind it. You're just stuck.
Can I do anything within the dream?
we the viewers do not know,
Okay.
because this is happening simultaneous with other events.
Gotcha. Okay.
We will narrate those other events now. Here are the other events. Fennetir, there's
Mhm.
thumps. Karaok is twitching in his sleep. His
Mhm.
grimacing. Urgh. He even
'Kay.
growls a little bit.
I cast magic circle centered on Karauk.
You have the material components.
Uh-oh. Iron worth at least 100 gold points. Let me see.
Or silver dust.
I have a bag of
Probably
silver
do.
powder.
That's fine. If we find out later that it wasn't 100 gold's worth, it's fine. I don't care. You have some silver, though.
Yeah.
You use it.
Mhm.
Drawing the magic circle around
Oh yeah,
around
powdered
Karaok.
silver. Yeah, I do have 100 gold pieces. I have 2 bags worth 50 each, so we're good.
So
Yep.
that is an important component of this spell as you sprinkle it around him. This is the strangest magic circle you've ever seen.
Uh-huh.
You notice in the corner Ate perks up. She's looking. She's watching. And we're going to skip for our break shortly. But Ate is watching you.
Uh-huh. And as a note, I'm casting this invertedly so that the hag will be stuck inside of it.
And will not be able to get out.
Yeah.
So what it says is, so that means that the creature cannot willingly exit the cylinder by non-magical means.
Right. And if it wants to, it has to make a Charisma 13 saving throw. So I'm not really that good at magic.
Okay. You complete the spell,
Uh-huh.
and next to Karaok in the hold, there appears a beautiful elf maiden.
Hmm. Hey there.
She says, "Hello, I seem to have..." Wait, hold on. Yeah. So I seem to have become lost. Where am I?
You're inside a magic circle that won't let you leave.
Is that so? What? Why?
Because you're a hag.
I'm sorry. I'm a what now?
You're a hag.
Ate approaches and gives you a look like, what do I do?
I mean, we should attack this hag.
Do you give the signal to Ate?
Yes, and I will do that by casting
Do you need
spiritual
to
weapon.
maintain concentration or anything?
Magic circle does not require
It
concentration.
does not require concentration. Yep.
It
So there
just
are these
lasts for an
glowing
hour.
runes in a circle in the air around where Karaok is,
Yeah.
where he's currently sleeping and twitching on the floor. And
Mhm.
you, Karaok, you're you know how sometimes in a dream you suddenly sort of get the sense that you're in a dream? You're like, oh, this
Mhm.
is a dream.
Yep.
That's pretty much the only way I experience dreams.
You suddenly have that feeling. Like Ate is
Mhm.
there, and this Palorian lizard folk that you don't recognize is there, and you're in this clearing, but it's just a dream. It's not real.
So can I do things? Can I
In
do
your dream,
something?
sure.
Yeah. I'm going to call out in the dream, and Karak, like whether he sees it or senses it or not, Karak is calling to the hag, and he says, "I see you."
Okay. Ate jumps at the hag, at the elf. Now, does it say anything about other people going in the magic circle? No, it's only fiends.
No. But if you go into the magic circle, you lose the protections that you would get for being outside of the circle.
Right. Right. So the hag has disadvantage on attacks against you all because you're outside the circle.
Yeah.
And how long does the circle last?
1 hour.
Oh, 1 hour. Okay. So what happens is that the hag or the nice elven looking girl
Uh-huh.
gets stabbed with Ate's spear, like right in the back.
Nice.
And
Nice.
and then arrows from some other lizard folk come flying and some hit and some don't. And one of the
Make
lizard
sure you
folk
don't hit.
crawls on her belly and shakes Karaok. And Karaok, you wake up and you just in time you open your eyes and you see an elf woman standing above you, and you see the glowing of the runes of the magic circle all around as this spear just strikes the elven girl, and the polymorph is broken, and she turns back into the hideous hag that you saw before. And
Can I attack? I want to attack it.
yeah, you're
I
going to
wanna
have
stab
to
it.
use half of your movement to stand up, but you don't need to move to attack her. You're within melee range.
Yeah, I want to stab things.
Go ahead.
Do. I guess I get 3 swings.
You get 3 swings.
So, let's see. First swing is.
Is this are you swinging with? Is this a magical weapon or silvered?
Oh fudge.
If not, maybe you should get out of the circle.
Right. No, it's not a magical weapon or silvered. Yeah, okay, well, never mind. I'll try to get out of the circle then.
Okay, you can just move out of the circle.
I will move out of the circle.
Some claws come slashing down at you. How is a 17 against your armor class.
I am a 15. Oh, but I have my cloak
I'm a
She has
cloudy sea.
wait a second, hold on. She has disadvantage against you.
because of the
Oh no,
cloak.
because you're not outside. You're inside the sphere. The
But
circle, the
I have
cylinder.
the cloak of displacement.
You sure do.
Haha, cloak of displacement. She misses him and
Yeah, so
attacks
she
him
does have
double.
disadvantage.
Okay. In that case, how is a 13? That does not gonna hit. So
Nope.
she slashes at you, but the
I roll
your
out of the
magical
way.
cloak gets you out of the way. She has to roll, what is it, wisdom?
Yeah, no, charisma 13 if she wants to leave the circle.
All right. Oof. She rolled a 13 and she has charisma +3.
Boo!
So you see the hag briefly in its form as a hag vanish.
As soon as she leaves the circle.
And well, hold on. Yeah. She succeeded on her charisma saving throw to try and use her interplanar travel, which is etherealness, where she magically enters the ethereal plane. So she enters the ethereal plane, which looks to you as though she just disappeared. And
Gotcha. She took
you
some
see her
damage
no
though.
more.
Gotcha.
And that is where we are going to take our break. We'll be back at 9:06. Oh, so Robert's not even there.
Uh-oh.
We can't take a break.
We can't take a break without Sir Robert to take us to our break screen. I cannot hear you, Josh. Josh, you're on mute.
Okay, bear with me. In the Star Wars universe, on the planet of Kashyyyk, exists a race of Wookiees. Now, in the extended novel,
Well, we can keep going a little bit.
Yeah. When she steps into the ethereal plane, I take it none of you fools, none of you prudes have true sight.
Nope.
Okay, fair enough.
As the voyage continues, do you think you guys are going to try this again?
Yeah, I need to scrounge up some more silver or iron dust.
And I think I have some silver. Do I have silver? This time. Wait, no? Do I? Come on. Surely I have silver. No. Hey, I will try to. Oh, I do have silver. I have silver powder. I'll, do the thing to silver my weapon so that I can actually kill it, hurt it this time. I will prepare my weapons in advance with silver.
I will also ask people around the ship if they have silver or iron worth 100 gold pieces. Do I have enough money to buy that from them?
Actually, how much silver would that take? Or how much?
I don't know if you can just use silver a weapon.
I can't.
I think you have to be a smith.
Oh, I see.
I know a smith.
What I was going to say is, if you try this on subsequent days, the hag does not appear.
But do the dreams?
But are people still
dreams
having
stop?
nightmares?
People have fewer nightmares.
Well, we did it, folks. That's as good as it gets. Those are just normal old nightmares you're having.
People have fewer nightmares. You try it on another time, and this time, the nothing appears in the magic circle. And
Maybe she's doing it from a little further away.
the person who's having the nightmare does seem to find some relief from it,
Mm-hmm.
but you do not see the hag appear again.
Do I have any more nightmares?
Yes,
I do.
there is one final nightmare that you have. In this last vision, Karaok, you're back in your hometown. You can see the Brontosaurus paddock where you learned to ride dinosaurs. The mountains in the distance where young lizard ranger summer camp took place are visible to you. But there's smoke rising where the buildings used to be. Ruined, burnt timbers creak in the wind. The shamanic temple, once so mighty, has slid halfway into the swamp, its foundations crushed and ruined. Where are your people? Where have they gone? You seek them in the dream across the face of the earth, and you do find them. Fennetir, Karaok is kicking beneath you.
Mm-hmm.
The lizard folk stand poised, weapons ready. The magic circle comes into effect. Karaok, there are only a few hundred of your people left. The huge lizard folk with the curving white tattoos stands now before a dozen young, trembling lizard folk people. Except this time, the hulking figure is Ate herself, transformed. Behind her are elves and humans in steel armor. One by one, the young lizard folk approach Ate, their Palorian lizard shaman, and she bites each of them in the neck, and they swoon. Later, you see the elves send them into battle against orcs. It's horrible odds. Your people transform into fierce dinosaurs and battle proudly and well, but the orcs are too many. You see this battlefield in your mind. One by one, the last of your people fall, victims of these foreign wars. You're left thinking, if only Ate had turned back. If only she had denied the call of Palor. Go ahead and take 6 points off of your max hit points.
Oof.
But, and this idea,
You mean 6 more?
6 more.
Okay.
And this idea is in your mind. What if Ate has sold out to Palor? But that's the last of the dreams that you experience on the journey. And when we
The
come back
magic
from our,
circle.
when we come back from our break, we are going to catch up with the characters who are at Air Mountain during this time. And we can't. We don't have
can
Robert here to click the go to break button, so
We can just all mute ourselves.
we can just
and
all
then-
mute ourselves, and you can stare at my books.
Try to see which of Matt's books is your favorite, and leave a comment.
Leave a
the
comment
Twitch.
on the Twitch channel. Oh, hey,
Oh,
Sir
there's
Robert.
Sir Robert. Sir Robert.
Hey, Sir Robert, we need to go to break.
Sounds good. I was helping Johanna with her car.
Thank
one
you.
sec. Intermission and
Welcome back to this Dungeons and Dragons live stream podcast object, the Starfall Collective, Season 2, King of the Cloudy Sea, Episode 28, I believe, Part 2. Weatherin,
I'm here.
a little time has passed. You're adjusting to the momentous news, this huge change to your fortunes and your future, what your God had in store for you this whole time. Particularly difficult is things like not getting to go home, or at least rarely. Not You've been motivated for so long by this search for truth, and you finally found it, and it seems that it's not the kind of truth that you can take back home and prove to everybody that you were right all along. It's more like the kind of truth that you have to live with for 6,000 years alone.
Yep.
Not alone. Among a people not your own. Fearin,
And it's a truth they don't quite know.
yeah. Fearin, after giving you a place to stay, he's not going to push it on you all right away. But he gives you a room. You spend the night there. The next morning, he takes you to visit the Queen. Nobody visits the Queen. But Fearin takes you to a part of Air Mountain. It's weird because you do have to be carried up to there. It's not accessible by anybody climbing. It's above everything else. There's pillars holding it up. There's no stairs. You would have to like shimmy up it, like going up a rope in gym class or something.
So Fearin has the ring for now.
Fearin has it at this moment. But they get you up there. Some of the acolytes help to fly you up. Fearin himself is too weak to actually carry you. But the Queen, this extremely imposing owl-like figure who's white with royal sort of black spots like an ermine cape, only feathers. Here's the story from Fearin and is nonplussed. She has apparently been watching his decline into old age.
Okay.
And may have had some inkling that something like this was going on. Maybe her predecessor whispered in her ear that Yellow Eyes is not who he seems. Or maybe Fearin had discussed this directly with her before. It's hard to say. But he introduces you to her as his successor. And she asks you only one question. She says, "This Gorio, the captain of the Fujin, can we trust him?"
For some things, but you have to be careful about which things those are.
Weatherin. I am contemplating sending this elf into battle on behalf of my people and entrusting the lives of my people to him because of the loyalty the sailors of his ship who are necessary seem to hold for him. But he seems to have been considered insane by some. And you have been there with him. I will rely on you for many years if what Firin says is true, and you will be the new Yellow Eyes. I must expect absolute honesty from you. As to Oberon himself, tell me about this Goryo.
I would do nothing else than be completely honest. If this is where Oberon has me, then this is where Oberon has me. I don't understand it. I don't know exactly how he's doing it. But Goryo, like Yellow Eyes, is actually someone else. Goryo, I think, was killed by the Great Squid.
Kraken.
Sorry, the Great Kraken.
Enma.
And for his own reasons that I don't understand, a different sailor named Malmer has the ability to take on another appearance and form. I'm the only one who knows, but I agreed to let him pretend to be this wild, mad Goryo if he would bring me directly to Air Mountain. In the time that he has been Goryo, he has been acting as Goryo, he has not, to my knowledge, faltered in that image. He clearly wants the crew to be loyal to him for whatever his purposes. I don't know what his purposes are. But he has been, during the time I've seen him acting as Goryo, he has had the best interests of the crew at heart. It's as far as I can tell. And has not imperiled anyone else for his personal reasons. You know now as much as I do about it. Oh, I should also say, he has some source of power. As I said, I don't know how he takes another form, but he has some source of power that is chaotic and not of Oberon. Although that has been waning for a while.
Interesting. I will think on these things. Tell me, are the sailors genuinely loyal to him?
Many of them are, if not from their hearts, at least because they have the promise of a great reward from the cargo, that's the valuable cargo we carry.
Indeed.
Their portion of that share, their share of that reward is enough to change their lives forever should they make it home. So many of them are. There are also a few less than savory sorts, but, sailors.
I have been informed of this, and this great treasure is now in our safekeeping while this vessel undergoes, I may say, extensive repairs.
It's very good motivation for all of the crew, and I think for Malmer, who is Gorio, to be earnest in their efforts, because should they fail Air Mountain and Air Mountain loses that reward for them, that cargo, then a lot of their efforts have been in vain for a long time.
I do not.
Also, sorry, I was going to say also that the three mates, Sarah and Barkus and
Kyoko.
Kyoko, I was going to say Naomi, and Kyoko, as far as I have seen, have been fair-minded and loyal and faithful to their mission. Notwithstanding some issues with the crew below them, they have been upright.
So a good ship. We will. I do not like the idea of forcing anybody to fight on our behalf. And we have other allies on the way. We will ask them to volunteer. But the Fujin will sail on behalf of the Aarakocra, whether the sailors volunteer or not. Whether this Goryeo will or not. For the survival of my people is at stake. It may be, should they refuse, that I will have you captain this ship.
I'm willing. I should let you know also, in order to get here, the deal I made with this Malmer Goryeo is that he would bring me here, aiding me in my mission, and I also would assist him in his. That won't take priority over whatever for Air Mountain, the good of Air Mountain, but I gave my word, and at some point, when it's appropriate, I should help him.
All who fight to save my people will have their reward.
As you say.
You may go. She dismisses the two of you, takes up her perch again on the very tip-top peak of Air Mountain, where she can see the whole of her domain with her bright eyes. That scene closes. Next scene comes up. You're in the the Cathedral of Yellow Eyes. Incense is burning. Candles are lit. The many stained glass windows and mirrors and things shine and twinkle, casting little rainbows all over the place. It's twilight. Fearon is addressing his congregation. He tells them that the ways of Oberon are mysterious. He shows you to them and tells them that this messenger brought him word from a great elven temple in the heart of the forests. Which is true. He speaks of a deep prophecy, which is also true. Fearon says that he intends to go into seclusion for a time, to meditate and to pray. That he's not to be disturbed, but if you have something to say to him, Yellow Eyes, to tell Weatherin, who is going to stay with Yellow Eyes in his retreat. For now. Although it is likely that he will have to go and fight as part of this war. But fear not. Although Yellow Eyes may seem to disappear for a time, he's not abandoning them. Rather, he's seeking Oberon's will. And whenever they need him, he will be there. Before he sends you on your way back to the Fujin, he does give you the ring and goes into seclusion. There is maybe an acolyte somewhere who knows a place to deliver food and drink. There's a hermitage where no one goes. He retires to that place that he's had set up for maybe hundreds of years, waiting for this moment. But before he goes there, he gives you something. It's a book. Here's what the book has in it. The title of the book is Firen's Scrying Book. On each page of this book, there is a name, the name of an Aarakocra, and a little sketch, sometimes crossed out and redrawn if this person was reassigned, little sketch of a particular geographical location on the Cloudy Sea. And a sketch also of an Aarakocra, showing that Aarakocra's distinctive features. And in each one of these pages, there's a little pouch, almost like there would be for a library book's card. You know, old library book checkout cards. They have a little cardboard pouch. Each one of these thick pages has one of these, and in each one of them is tucked a single small feather, presumably from the Aarakocra in question. As you turn the page, you see one called Tiketa. It's in the northwest quadrant of the Cloudy Sea. Apparently, the three of them are all deployed to the northwest quadrant of the Cloudy Sea in different places. There's Tiketa, Witsea, Cheerily, and you turn the page and you find Kalurk. Very recognizable sketch of your friend Kalurk, and a feather which is clearly his. You turn the last page. There's no feather on this page, but it's a sketch of Nebulaster, the cloud giant. Each page, except for the Nebulaster one, also has a time of day notated on it. Gorio, Malmer.
Yes.
You are introduced by the official Aarakocra government. I think it's probably a naval officer who comes to you, or the Aarakocra equivalent military person, and brings you to meet General Wickawy. General Wickawy reports directly to the Queen. He's a tall, stately, hawkish fellow wearing light armor with medals around his neck and a completely sweet red cape. You wonder how he flies in it. This is the Queen's foremost military advisor and the general of their army. He brings you and Barkis, your first mate, along with some other important Aarakocra officials for a briefing. And he tells you this. There is one most pressing problem for the Aarakocra to solve at this moment. And that's this. Dark elves come from the east. Of course they do. All land dwellers come from the east. This is the westmost point of the world. They don't come from above or below. And yet, whenever a party of dark elves is encountered, or a black dragon, or a new monstrosity of some kind, they're always traveling from the northwest and making their way south and east, as though they're falling like stars from empty space. If the Dark Elves could be prevented from traversing whatever corridor it is that they're using to move from east to west without the Aarakocra being able to find them, then the Elven Empire, which is strong and to the east of you, could stop them at or near Three Ways, or in the tunnels below Three Ways. The elves love to fight the Dark Elves, and they would love to protect their levy resources. But they also do not know, apparently, from where these Dark Elves are coming. These evil servants of Karen disrupting everything on the Cloudy Sea. It could be a teleportation circle. They could be flying dragonback. There are evil fey creatures that are on Karen's side. Those sometimes have mysterious powers. Some people have reported seeing fey creatures walk into one tree and pop out of a tree elsewhere, 50 feet away. They could be riding spiders. It's Karen, after all, the Spider Queen. This is the problem. And he wants you to be in on their strategy at the highest levels, since you control such an important resource. The Aarakocra have never needed ships. Why would a people who can fly ship? But now it seems the kind of combat platform that the Fujin represents, built as it is to take down Kraken, seems like it'll be necessary to this effort. So he wants you to know what they're up to. He gives out assignments. He says to this one, examine this part of the Cloudy Sea. He says to another, I want you to go as far into the depths as you can and search. Perhaps they're coming up from there somehow, or through there. You might find something. Another is assigned to fly underneath the Cloudy Sea, looking up, seeking for any way, any kind of passage. He gives them flight routes to take and reveals the locations of secret supply caches that they can find and use. There's a report from a scout on the current state of Nebulastra's perch. As far as you can tell, as far as the Aarakocra know, Nebulastra's tower still holds. The island itself seems to be held by the Dark Elves. And yet the tower, it's very hard to tell what's going on. The Nebulastra, the cloud giant, has summoned an incredible storm. The winds around Nebulastra's perch are deadly. It is completely covered by enormous thunderheads. Lightning is everywhere. It's very difficult to travel nearby, and it would be very difficult to assault that tower in such weather conditions.
I've seen the tower myself, and I'd expect nothing less of the giant. He and his people have had generations to physically and magically fortify the place, and I would expect nothing less than for him to make an unassailable bulwark of it. I would expect him to hold for some time, though possibly not indefinitely. The Dark Elves are crafty, and it is possible they'll find a weakness in his defenses.
There's cawing and cackling at the notion of the impregnability of the tower. Ha ha ha! They like this idea. So you're looking at the map, moving around the little wooden wooden pusher guys, moving forces from here to there, making plans, strategizing with the generals. Your previous life as a smuggler pirate sort of has prepared you for this kind of thing to a certain extent. You feel like,
At the very least, Mal is intimately familiar with the speed with which different vessels are capable of traversing the cloudy sea, the relative, ability that different entities have to catch up with each other and stuff like that.
they do ask you to estimate for them when the other ship will arrive. They're eagerly awaiting reinforcements from the mainland. Their call went out weeks ago for aid, and a message came back that aid was indeed coming from many nations, and they're trying to find, when you think it'll arrive. The Aarakocra haven't spotted the ship yet.
Mal has had Barkus bring a number of charts and ledgers, and they pull them out and they start checking the time of year, the weather, the wind patterns, and everything. And he consults on the mass of the ship, its draft, and everything, and they, tabulate an educated guess.
They have a lot of. So we're going to glide over most of this, but they have a lot of questions for you about the moat that you saw,
right?
What you think the purpose was.
Right.
The technique that you think was used to construct it. They ask you about the crew that you found and the demons that you fought. It's like days of interviews with you about your experiences on the cloudy sea. With they even ask you about the Nothics. They had encountered them in various ways, although they're extremely mysterious.
So you just said there are days of questions, but at some point early on in the process, Gorio speaks up and says, I've find myself in a rather unorthodox position and one of great weight and importance. I have many reasons for bringing the Fujin with all haste to Air Mountain, and it seems that the fate of all free peoples upon the cloudy sea and further rest upon the battles in the days to come. But if I'm to pledge the full power of the Fujin to this cause, I will be stepping outside of some contracts and obligations I have to both private individuals and the Elven Empire. And to do that, I'll need to draft certain agreements with Her Majesty on authority of the Crown. I'm sure you understand. You yourself are a general and have all the authority to orchestrate the battle. But if I'm to join my vessel to you, I'll need to speak to the Queen herself or a diplomat who can speak with her authority. And if possible, I'd ask for Waver and the Paladin to be present at such meetings.
This is not something that can immediately be granted.
Oh, yeah. That's why he's saying it early. He figures over the course of a couple of days, he'll play ball, answer all the questions, try to go through all the war councils, and then hopefully by the time they've got a plan, they'll be able to have that meeting.
Yeah. So the general is perfectly willing to try and set up a meeting with the Queen or with some other duly appointed royal representative.
Sure.
And he begins to work on setting that up, and their equivalent of lawyers begin trying to figure out what terms they might offer the shipping company that owns the Fujin. They want to try and do it above board if they can.
Are all the barristers barred owls?
Probably.
They tell lots of stories.
One last thing that happens whenever sailors are on shore leave is sometimes mail catches up with them. So waiting at the inn, sailors.
Also, I told the crew that I would do this. He moves to liquidate at least some of the levy that came from just the Kraken, because they've taken a few Kraken, and he's got enough to liquidate some of those. But have come on, who's the second? Who's the first mate again? Sorry,
Barkus?
Barkus. He has Barkus find a merchant or a merchant guild that has the coffers to actually make that kind of a purchase, and he instructs Barkus to compensate the men in a way that is, a hefty
Pay
bonus.
the sailors at least some.
Yeah, get them a bonus.
Yeah, Barkus goes out and reports back that the resources of this whole land are heavily strained right now.
Yeah.
Their monetary supply is low, and he's not going to be able to get anything like a good deal.
Okay.
But if you're willing, you can.
Yeah, not a lot then, but good deal or not, he made a promise to the men, and he does not want to miss a beat. Like it's a matter of tactical importance for him. So
okay, so maybe you sell
what
off
you need to do.
one of the levy gems.
Yeah.
To get some coin to pass around to the sailors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So
Can't
this
just replenish the coffers of the ship. I'm sure we're going to need some money to, do business in port and everything. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. It is. So this is the kind of business that takes place on the walking square. There's a shop there. There's a place where you can barter, marketplace, etc. And a customs house, things like that. When the mail comes, sailors are getting letters from three ways, packages that they had sent on ahead when they left and are catching up with here, extra little presents to themselves and supplies, things like that. There's a letter for you, Malmer.
Which the captain takes under the auspices of taking the letter of a dead crewman.
Malmer is, of course, no longer with us, but the captain is willing to see that this letter reaches Malmer's next of kin, perhaps.
Sure.
But secretly opens it?
Yes, secretly. A letter for me? No, I'm not. What's his
too slick for that?
Yeah, too slick for that.
You
almost got me though, Matt. You almost got me.
Yes, you are too slick for that. No, I wouldn't. Your character is expert at hiding your identity. The letter says, Malmer, and you recognize the handwriting. I've been seeking you. But when I finally found you, you ignored me. After what I did, it says, I deserve that. We all do. But now you're the only one who can help us. Please, it says, if only for the sake of what we once had together, help us. We need you, Obi-Wan Kenobi. We need you. If anybody in the Cloudy Sea can find us and fix this, it's you. And the letter is signed Ferraria. And that is where we are going to close this episode of the Starfall Collective. Oh, and you see a mast. You see a mast to the east as the party draws closer and closer to each other.
We see a ship, an elven warship pulling in, laden
An elven
with the
warship
banner
approaches,
with waving the colors, the banner of Yellow Eyes.
waving the Yellow Eyes banner. You see it. Next episode, we will have the fond reunion.
The party will finally be back together.
I think there will be a number of adjectives that will come up.
How fond will it be, really?
Yeah, will it be fond? Where's my thing?
Finitier is now committed to be good, so I'm not sure how well he'll get along with Gorio.
That is all for tonight. thanks for joining us. Tune in this same time next week for another exciting episode. And remember, failure is beautiful.